Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Next Chapter Notes, where we talk about issues and challenges women who are 55 and older face and deal with every day. I'm chuckling because just as I was getting ready to hit the live button, I don't know what happened. Um, and I'm not technically savvy. For those of you who know me, know that I'm not technically savvy. And so I had a little bit of a panic there. But anyway, we're all set, and I'm hoping that we're live. I'm trusting that we're live. So welcome in, and happy Wednesday. Happy 1st of July. I feel like the summer is just whizzing by. I can't believe that we're already in July. I hope that you are enjoying your summer. I'm still on a high from my visit to the Barack Obama Presidential Center. You can see I'm wearing my um, presidential t-shirt. I think I bought enough t-shirts to last me for the entire year, but I'm still on a high from that quick vacation. I had such a great time. Okay, let's do some housekeeping. Where are you joining me from? I would love to know. Are you in the Washington, D.C. area? Of course, Washington, D.C. Are you in the Washington, Maryland area like I am, or are you outside in another state? I would love to know. And while you're putting that in the chat, I want to give a shout out to two people who set their clocks so they never miss an episode, and I really appreciate that. And it's Paula and Natasha, and I can always count on them to be in the room, and I can always count on them to give me encouragement and support. So shout out to them. And if you're joining me for the first time, I'm Constance Howard. I help women who have that 3 a.m. moment, when your eyes open up well before it's time to get up, and you start feeling the weight of all of your responsibilities and obligations. And you start thinking about your to-do list, and it has a gazillion things on it, but you can't find you on that list. And your next thought is, how did I get here? So that's where I come in. I am an executive coach, and I help women get from where they are now to the life that they want to enjoy. And every week, as I said, I come on and I talk about issues and challenges that women of my age face. So let's get started today. Do you remember that movie, The Wizard of Oz? I know it's a very old one, but it's a classic. It starred, there I think there were about five characters, and the main character was this teenager who lived in the Midwest, and her house is involved in a tornado, and she bumps her head, and she's unconscious, and so she starts to dream that she has landed in the land of Oz, and it's all about her journey to get home. And she has challenges, and she's got to figure things out. And along the way, she picks up a couple of friends, because she's told that if she could get to the Wizard of Oz, that he would be able to get her home. And she picks up some friends. She picks up a tin man, guy dressed in all tin, and he's looking for a heart. Yeah, he's looking for a heart. And she picks up a lion character, and he's looking for courage. And she picks up a scarecrow character, and he's looking for a heart. And so they're all off down this yellow brick road to meet the Wizard of Oz. Here's the thing. When they get to the wizard, he tells them everything you needed to obtain your goal. For Dorothy, it was to get back home. Everything you needed, you already had inside. You didn't need me. And in fact, he didn't have the ability to give them the things that they wanted. And so Dorothy realizes that she had the power all along to get back home. She had the power, she had the skills, she navigated an area that, she didn't know, she was unfamiliar with. She was resilient, persistent, and she wasn't going to take no for an answer. And that's what led Dorothy home. She had all of these things, but she didn't have the one thing she really needed, and that was permission. She did not give herself permission to use her power, to use her smarts, use her skills to get back home. Okay, I know you're wondering, why are you telling me this story? I'm telling you this story because I believe there are a lot of Dorothys out there. I was a Dorothy. I think there are a lot of women who walk around carrying a dream, a hope, a goal. Maybe it's to start your own business. Maybe it's to leave a career. Maybe it's to set boundaries in a relationship that has just gone wonkers. But you're carrying around these hopes and dreams that you haven't acted on. You keep telling yourself you need more training, you need more experience, you need another degree behind your name. You need validation from somebody in order for you to pursue your dreams. And so we keep moving on. Instead of acting on it, what we do is we just keep moving in the roles that we have. We keep ourselves busy. We keep being the main caregivers. We keep taking on additional projects at work. We keep doing the things, anything that will keep us from thinking about the hopes and dreams that we carry around every single day. And we tell ourselves, you know what? My family needs me right now. This is not a good time. Later, I'm going to get to it later. When things calm down, that's when I'll, pursue some of my dreams. That's when I'll make time for myself. But you know what happens, right? Later never comes. That someday turns into no day because you haven't acted on it. And we get used to that. Like when it doesn't happen, we're not shocked by it because we didn't really expect it in the beginning. It was a dream, it was a hope, and we just think, well, I'll just keep moving on in the roles that I have now as caregiver and career woman and whatever else. We settle into those roles even more. And again, we settle in because they're comfortable and they're familiar. And there's fear inside of us. And I know this because there are things that I want to do that I find myself keeping busy, not doing. I think there are a lot of women who understand what I'm talking about. But I want you to hear me when I say this to you. You don't need more credentials. You don't need more experience. You don't need to delay anymore. You have what you need inside you to get started. And a lot of us think that everything has to line up perfectly before we can move ahead. I used to think that, like, as soon as I get A, B, and C, everything will work out and I'll have an easier road. But it doesn't work like that. You just have to step out there and believe with everything you have that this is the new direction for you. I remember when I decided to leave TV news. Man, I put that decision off for years. I got to tell you, at least 5 years, I knew that my TV news career was over. That season in my life was over. And I tell this story all the time where I'm sitting in the conference room and my supervisor starts talking about something. I don't even know what he was talking about because in my mind, all I could hear and see was all the work I would have to do, all the extra stuff I would have to do. And listen, I'm a worker bee, so work doesn't scare me. But that, right, the load I was going to have to take on, it was just so incredible that in that moment, I thought, it's really over. My career is over. And from that moment on, I started to take steps to plan the next season of my life. It took me 2 years from that point to turn in my letter of resignation. I wrote the letter that day, not knowing, I had no idea what I was going to do. I had no idea how I was going to sustain myself, how I was going to pay my bills. But you know what I knew? I knew that that season of my life was over, and it was time for me to recognize it. And it was time for me to take action and to start taking the steps that would lead to what God had for me. And so I think that's the challenge that I have for you today. What is it that you're carrying around, that you've been carrying around for a while? Is it to start your own business, to write the book? Is it to set boundaries in a relationship? Is it to change a relationship? Only you know what you've been carrying around. And only you know how you keep yourself busy from doing the work that you have to do in order to make your dreams come true. I want you today to give yourself permission to start that process. I'm not saying to blow up your life in one decision. I didn't do that. I didn't quit the day my boss was talking about that project or whatever it was he was talking about. I made plans. But here's the key. You have to recognize how you keep busy, how you keep avoiding and keep delaying the dreams that you have for yourself. And once you do that, you can tackle the project. You can say to yourself, stop yourself midway. Oh my gosh, I'm keeping busy when I know I should start thinking about my next step. And that's the challenge. And that's what I'm asking you to do. What is it you want to do? How do you want your life to be? Who do you want to be? And what's keeping you from it? Start there. And then I say this all the time, take baby steps, but take action, any action toward the goals that you have. And no step is too small. I'm telling you, the day I walked out of that conference room, the first thing I did was start thinking, like, what skills do I have? Making that list. That was a step forward. And then the next day I took another step forward. And when I got to the end of 2 years, I was ready to make that big leap. So that's what I'm asking you to do today. Decide what it is you want. What do you want to change? See how you're holding yourself back. And then take action. Again, no step is too small. Take action for you. Like Dorothy, everything you need, you already have. You have the skills to navigate challenges because you do it all the time. You're hard workers. I've worked with women like you. You do everything for everybody else, and you are the last on your list. I'm asking you today to put you first on your list and to decide what the next chapter of your life will look like, what you want to look like. Hey, listen, if this resonated with you, leave comments in the chat. I would love to hear from you and tell me how you're going to take the next step in your chapter. And if I can help you in any way, leave that in the chat and I'll make sure that I follow up. And also while you're down there, hit the subscribe button and click the bell so you'll be notified when any new videos are posted. And tell a friend. I would appreciate that. Tell a friend. And I will see you. I will see you next week. I told you I'm not technically savvy, so I'm searching around for the button to end the live stream. All right, guys. Thanks, and I'll see you next week.